Strength is a valued trait that we all admire. We often put this skill to the test in competition, and winning takes more than just having a perfectly sculpted physique. Make sure to stick around until the end to meet someone who was able to drag a bus with their teeth. As we get started, warm yourself up by subscribing to The Richest and giving this video a big thumbs up. Now here are the 10 strongest men in the world. Phil Pfister. Phil Pfister is an American strongman who looks like a beast that can toss you to the other side of the room in just a few seconds. Both of his parents are physicians, and he went to college in Charleston, West Virginia. He spent most of his time chopping wood to help pay for his college tuition. Ironically, he wasn't interested in any sports when he was younger and didn't participate in any physical activities. So what changed? Phil became a firefighter, and it was through his gym training that he fell in love with strength training. From there, Phil became interested in strongman competitions and dove into the world head first. In the 1998 World's Strongest Man competition, he achieved 4th place. He made a promise that he would be the one to bring that particular title back to America, which he eventually did in 2006. Phil continued to compete a while longer after winning the title, though he never won another spot on the podium. Regardless, Phil made quite the impact on the strongman world with his accomplishments. Igor Zaripov. When you think of a strongman, someone like Igor Zaripov probably doesn't come to mind. He is an acrobatic performer and gymnast. Those type of athletes are known to be strong, but exactly how strong are they? Igor has been in the world of gymnastics for most of his life, and he recently got involved in CrossFit. He started performing at the age of 3 with his family and is a 4th-generation gymnast. If that wasn't enough, he's also performed yoga contortion with his older sister. If you've watched a Cirque du Soleil show in Las Vegas, then you might have even seen him perform. In January 2015, Igor broke the world record for the heaviest road vehicle pulled with teeth when he dragged a bus that weighed 30,233.31 pounds. Not only that, but he can also deadlift about 500 pounds and bench press 365 pounds. Igor is proof that you don't need massive muscles to get the job done. Zsolt Cinka. Zsolt Cinka is a strongman from Hungary who was born in 1981. You definitely would not want to take this guy on in a competition of strength. He seems to have the strongest jaw in the world. Sure, Igor might have pulled a bus with his teeth, but Zsolt broke the world record for pulling an airplane with his teeth. In 2013, he used his teeth to pull an Airbus A320 a total distance of 128.6 feet in 52 seconds at the Liszt Ferenc Airport in Budapest. Zsolt has been appropriately named Popeye and is considered a jewel in his home country. But an airplane isn't the only extremely heavy object that he's pulled with his teeth. He also once yanked a train along its track as well. What's his secret? He claims that it's all about making a decision and sticking to that goal. Zsolt calls Arnold Schwarzenegger his role model, and we're certain that he's making Arnold proud. Vasyl Varatsiuk. Vasyl Varatsiuk was born in 1974 in the Ukraine. From the time that he started going to school, he impressed his teachers and peers with amazing demonstrations of strength. In high school, he got involved in sports like swimming and wrestling. Eventually, his older brother Roman took him to a gym, which is where he fell in love with shot putting. Vasyl found that he had a talent for the sport, so he trained and competed for a short time. In 1997, he and his brother were invited to participate in a Ukrainian strongman competition. Vasyl started competing more and more in those types of events, and he was even once called one of the most promising strongmen in the world by Arnold Schwarzenegger. In case you're still uncertain of Vasyl's strongman capabilities, he once pulled 5 tram cars with a total weight of 101.5 tons. But Vasyl believes that true strength goes beyond what the physical body can do. He thinks that it also requires a lot of mental strength. Dmytro Kaladze. There are many different ways that strongmen can demonstrate their strength. In the case of Dmytro Kaladze, he proved his strength by carrying horses on his back. Considering that the average weight of a horse is between 840 to 2,200 pounds, Dmytro is truly strong. He has done other stunts to prove his strength too, like letting trucks drive over him, bending metal rods with his teeth, and even driving nails through wood with his bare hands. Considering that these are all stunts that other strongmen can pull off, Dmytro needed to pick up the horses to stand out. We can't even imagine how confused these animals must have been when Dmytro grabbed them and put them on his back. The other crazy thing about him is that not only can he bend metal with his teeth, he can also bite through metal. We can't help but wonder what his dental bills must look like. Travis Ortmeyer. This 310-pound American man has earned himself the nickname Texas Stoneman. When you take a look at him, he looks like a powerhouse that can clear the room just by walking through it. He first started out as a bodybuilder before he transitioned to powerlifting, which then led him to start training as a strongman. Travis found that he was incredibly skilled in the Atlas Stones part of the competition, which is how he got his nickname. He's won first place in multiple competitions and even came in 5th in the World's Strongest Man competition in 2008, 2009, and 2010. In 2011, he won the America's Strongest Man competition as well. Unfortunately, injury often plagues Travis, which ends up sidelining him from competing. This has forced Travis to reevaluate his training and how he goes about competition so that he can continue to participate in the sport. Halfpour Julius Bjornsson. Weighing in at nearly 400 pounds and strong enough to lift over 1,000 pounds, may we present Superman? Just kidding. But if Halfpour Julius Bjornsson looks familiar, that's because he plays the Mountain on HBO's Game of Thrones. But this Icelandic strongman is much more than just an actor. He's also known as Europe's strongest man, and he has the skills to prove he's worthy of that title. In 2015, while winning the world's strongest Viking competition, Halfpour broke a 1,000-year-old record by walking 5 steps while carrying a log that weighed over 1,320 pounds. The original record holder, Orm Sturlufsen, only walked 3 steps, making Halfpour one of the strongest men in history. If you look at Halfpour's achievements, they are filled with coming in first place and gold medals. Before he's even turned 30, Halfpour has had both an acting and strongman career that are the envy of people who are much older than him. If that wasn't enough, he even once had a professional basketball career. In March 2017, he was diagnosed with Bell's palsy, which will certainly change the way that he trains as he moves forward. Zydrunas Savakis. Zydrunas Savakis is a strongman from Lithuania. He is the only powerlifter who's won every current major strongman competition. Because of this, he is considered to be one of the greatest strongmen of all time. There's a reason why he earned the nickname Big Z. He first became interested in becoming a strongman in 1989 after watching a competition on TV when he was 14 years old. 3 years later, he ended up winning that same competition before he was even a legal adult. In 1998, he started competing as a strongman in numerous competitions. He qualified for some, but didn't qualify for others. He never let his frustration get the best of him and continued to train and compete. He can powerlift over 275 pounds. He's also set a new record in the farmer's walk when he completed it in 7.55 seconds, walking over 65 feet with weights in his hands that each weighed over 330 pounds. Yet, just because you're a champion, it doesn't mean that there isn't room for improvement. Zydrunas recently made headlines after he lost weight and started defining his muscles even more. Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall looks like he's one of the strongest men in the world. This English strongman holds the 2017 title of the world's strongest man, and he is set to dominate titles around the world. While he seems to be currently out on injury, he isn't showing any signs that he's ready to quit or relinquish his reputation. He can deadlift over 1,000 pounds, and he's one of the only people who can even accomplish that feat. If that wasn't enough, he can pull planes, lift cars, and even throw barrels. One could even say that he might be a bit obsessed with being the best. He has freely admitted on his website that his eyes have almost burst from his head and he has woken up in pools of blood, all for the sake of pushing himself further. Eddie has certainly become one of the most famous strongmen in the world, and he has even had a documentary made about him. Seeing his film drove Eddie to work even harder, which he didn't think was even possible. Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw is an American strongman, and he has won the title of the world's strongest man a total of 4 times. He stands at 6'8" and weighs over 400 pounds. He comes from a family of large people, which has certainly worked to his advantage. He can squat 825 pounds, can deadlift 880 pounds, and can pull off a 1,140-pound strapped Hummer tire lift with ease. You could say that Brian is a colossal beast who can take on the heftiest of challenges. He has always been interested in being a strongman, and he used to watch competitions on TV as much as he could. When he was in high school and college, he started to train as a strongman. He also played basketball in college after receiving a scholarship. After he was done school, Brian was able to train harder and focus more on strongman competitions. In the midst of his busy life, he is still able to be a family man as well. His wife, Carrie, is also dedicated to health and fitness. That's all for the 10 strongest men in the world. Who do you think is most impressive? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.